Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been such a long time since I last uploaded on YouTube, and as much as I feel guilty about this, um, I just realistically didn't have the time over the last year or so to actually focus my efforts into YouTube. Um, if you don't follow me on Instagram, then you probably wouldn't know, but I did tie the knot a few months ago. And as you know, weddings are just crazy busy, too much planning, a lot of commitment. You know, honestly, in all um, truth, I think I haven't actually fully recovered even now. And I'm still, recovering from all the busyness and all the wonderful but stressful couple of months. I also then got sick on my honeymoon, got back from our honeymoon, and I've just been on and off sick, fever, D&V, fever, D&V. It's just been going back and forth, and I know I shouldn't be trying to find excuses, but it's the reality of the situation. I also have a full-time job, and it's not easy. It's not easy trying to juggle everything together, no matter how hard I've tried. But yes, the realistic situation basically is that I've just been crazily busy over the last year or so, and yeah, it's now time to focus on myself and focus on the things that I love doing, and makeup and YouTube has always been a big part of that. If I'm not thinking about filming a YouTube video or filming ideas for YouTube or Instagram, I'm on it watching it. So here we are, first video back after a year, and I wanted to go through my makeup bag. This is basically the makeup bag that I had to purchase last minute. So the actual bag itself and everything inside has pretty much been last minute makeup purchases. And it wasn't planned, but we ended up having to do a pre-shoot, a wedding pre-shoot, at the request of our wonderful, amazing photographers and videographers. But basically, because I wasn't expecting to, and it's so daft, usually I carry at least the bare minimum of makeup, and my parents always, especially my dad, he'd be like, why do you carry this around? What do you think you're going to need this for? You're not going anywhere this weekend. But I always just carry it around just in case I need it. And that weekend, stupidly, I just, I was like left in a rush, from straight after work. I packed the night before, and when I was packing the night before, I was like, you know what, I'm only here for a day, I'm gonna be back. It's so unlikely that I'm gonna end up needing my makeup pouch. The most that we're probably going to be doing is wedding shopping, so it's very unlikely that I'm going to need my makeup. And so I get there that weekend, and that day, literally, the photographer was like, "Oh, guys, we'd love to do a pre-shoot video, a pre-shoot with photos." And as you know, I love all things filming, all things photography, all things photo shoots. As vain as that may sound, I hope it doesn't sound vain, because I do like to keep myself humble and grounded. But we were excited, and we were all for it. I sat down and remembered, I was like, oh crap, I do not have any of my makeup, any of my hair stuff. My straighteners and everything was back in East Sussex, and I was like, great, what am I gonna do? And I literally had to kind of next day delivery everything. And So this is the makeup pouch that ended up coming with me and traveling around with me, funnily enough, not just for the pre-shoot but during the wedding. Then I just packed this and took this for my honeymoon. I don't know what made me do this, because usually when you are you know, especially for a photo shoot, you're doing your makeup, you tend to want to stick with products that you've tried before, that you trust. But I just found it so wasteful to buy products that I already have and love again. I love playing with makeup and I love experimenting anyway, so I just kind of went for it. I've tried these products before, and it was literally the first time I was going to be using it was for my pre-shoot, and it could have been a really stupid idea, but thankfully it worked out fine and it worked out well. It was the case that came with me to my best friend's wedding, and I ended up doing her civil makeup last minute. Plan that I would do her makeup for her civil wedding, which was such a it was a massive honor, but at the same time I was stressed because I wanted everything to look, you know, beautiful on her, and we were kind of going back and forth, and I was on my honeymoon at this point when she had asked me if she was to do her civil wedding makeup, and I was freaking out. I was like, okay, you need to kind of give me an idea of what looks you're, you know, you're kind of going towards. What would you like on your face? What kind of makeup look are you envisioning? Because I don't want to do something that you are not happy with. And you know, as a bride, she has every right to pick what makeup look she wants, and luckily she was very flexible, but she did have, you know, a few kind of pointers that she'd given me. So this is a very special makeup case, makeup bag. It was there for me and my wedding and for my best friend's wedding, so if this gets lost anywhere, I would absolutely be shattered. So anyway, enough of me talking. This whole video is about what's in my makeup bag, what's in my makeup case, what's the new makeup. It's kind of a combination of a few ideas actually. Firstly, it's almost going to be like a review of new makeup I've tried. It's what's in my makeup bag currently. It's a what do I travel, what makeup do I travel with. It's a what makeup do I use for events. So it's a lot of things combined together, but I'm glad to say that every product in this bag, although it was new and although I was a bit like, oh, really, should I be doing this? They were all products that I've heard amazing things about but had never tried. So I was going off the base of other YouTubers, other makeup artists, other people who you know, recommend products, and who I kind of trust when it comes to their recommendations. These are all products that I've heard you know, good things being said about time and time again, which is why I decided to kind of purchase them, and I didn't feel too bad about purchasing them. Let's cut out the talking and get started. First thing I'm going to do is put my hair back, and as you can see, I have gotten rid of my hair. So the main thing that I was growing my hair for was actually for my wedding. I didn't want my hair to be difficult to style or difficult to, you know, basically handle through my wedding. So I kept it as I basically grew it for as long as I could. And the minute the wedding was done, we were on our honeymoon, and we'd kind of said, you know, I might want to get my hair cut whilst I was away. So that's what we did. I ended up cutting my hair in Bali, and best experience ever. Anyway, let's go through my makeup bag. Firstly, this is an awesome makeup bag, and it is from Amazon. As you can see, it comes with two kind of sections, and the bottom section is bigger, so this is where I kind of have all my foundation, concealers, all the major things, and then the top is quite good for containing, you know, your brushes, smaller items. Might be a bit of a bad idea because I think things might start falling out. I've got all the stuff that I've been using over the last 3 months, I think now, in here. I've had a lot of events that I've ended up at, and you know, even just after our wedding, after my best friend's wedding, it's just been on and off events, things that, you know, I've had to go to and wear makeup to. And like I said, the makeup bag is from Amazon, so I will find the link to it and put it in the description box. However, let's get started with the makeup. So this is actually not a new product to me. This, luckily, I packed in my skincare. I can't remember, but I basically did take it along with me, and it's one of the best lip oils that I have tried, and it literally does not break your bank at all. It's the collection cosmetics collection brand. It's called Lip Spa, and it's a lip oil, and it's got argan oil in it, and literally this is the best. This is like one of the nicest lip oils that I use to prep my lips for makeup and for applying, you know, any future lipstick, lip products on. It literally softens my lips within about 10 minutes, and it really does do a good job of softening and, you know, removing any of that dryness from my lips. If I've left this behind, I do miss it. This product isn't brand new to me, but it's an amazing one, so if you can get your hands on this, I would highly recommend you guys try it, and leave a comment down below if you are obsessed with it as much as I am. So since my wedding, I've actually kind of added a few more of my staples to this kit, basically. So the majority of the stuff in here is brand spanking new, new as in it's, you know, was bought specifically for my photo shoot, etc. But some of the makeup I have added in here since are sort of staple things. I'm just putting those to a side. This brush set is from Amazon, so I will link it down below. It was actually a really nice set. It was slightly on the pricier side in comparison to you know, other brush sets that you can get, but I feel like some of the brushes in this collection are totally worth it. For example, this brush, which I use for concealer, really great. Really like the brush that I use for this one, contour, bronzer contour, sculpting the face. This is a really good one. It's dense. Yeah, the shape of the thing is quite straight, so it does really good job at really, you know, blending any contour and keeping the contour bronzer, you know, pinpointed exactly where you want it. This is an amazing highlight brush. I really like this brush as well for more sort of pinpointed application of eyeshadow. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, you've got really good selection of brushes in this set, so I will link it down below, and yes, make sure you have a look in my description box for any of the links to any of the products. This is what I have been using to prep and prime my skin for makeup. A lot of the makeup artists and people that do makeup professionally go by this, and I've got quite dry skin, so I always prefer to have something very moisturizing as my base, and, you know, even for foundation, I do have to work a little bit harder with matte products for it to really look good on my skin when it's dry. So So yeah, this was something that I tried for the pre-shoot. I am going to apply the products in this video, so that you can see how these products look on my skin. So you know, I usually use about this amount. The packaging isn't the best. I mean, I do appreciate it's metal, so it's easily recyclable. However, I feel like it does tend to get squished in my makeup bag, like kit, with along with the other products, compressing it, and so when I open it, it tends to just run out. It's quite a runny product, as you can see. It's just kind of dripping down my hand there. So when I open it up, it does tend to just kind of squirt out the product, and I just end up using however much has come out of the packaging. So I mean, it's a lovely moisturizer. It really does, you know, moisturize the skin. This is what my makeup artist also used on me for my actual wedding day as my base, you know, moisturizer primer. I'm not sure if she used any additional primers on top of this, but this was the moisturizer and the main base that she started off with when she did my makeup for my actual wedding events as well. Any extra goes on my hands. I rarely use the sponge, but I did get this anyway, just in case my makeup looked cakey at all and it looked like it wasn't sitting in at any point. Usually a blender is quite good at handling that kind of situation, so because it was a photo shoot, a pre-shoot, I wanted to have a sponge at hand, and so I got this Eco Tools one, and it's actually a biodegradable one, and I think this is amazing because with, you know, the amount of packaging and things that we end up wasting with makeup, unfortunately, I feel like, I know it's not a lot, but where you can, you know, recycle as much as you can, and where you can use things that are biodegradable and aren't as harmful, you know, to the planet, we should. And so I was really excited and really curious to try this out and see if it did actually work, you know, as a sponge. And I can honestly say it, you can't tell the difference. The fact that this is biodegradable, honestly, you cannot tell the difference, and that is amazing. So Eco Tools has seemed to do it once again. The foundation I ended up purchasing, I ended up having to get 2 shades because I got it online, so I wasn't sure exactly what my shade would be. And in fact, I do think so one of the shades is outright not the right one for me. It's this one. As you can see, it's too fair, way too fair. I mean, I do have a bit of a tan from my honeymoon going on still, so I don't know if my winter shade, like once the tan has worn off, you know, I might be able to get away with this, but especially not right now. No way, cannot get away with it. But funny enough, I ended up using this foundation along with the Estee Lauder one for my best friend on her civil wedding, and it looked stunning. So the fact that I did get the shade, it didn't end up going to waste. I did end up using it, and I used it on my best friend. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. It's kind of knocked around in the kit, and as you can see, the tile is already kind of rubbing off. That is the shade, sorry, 320 Pine is this shade. And then the other shade that is more suited to my skin, 360 Citrine, and again it's the same line, Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. The cool thing about this is that it's a twist. You twist it to you know, lock it and open the foundation. Generally, when I'm using foundation, we'll go in with just a pump. That actually I didn't press all the way down, so it's more so like 3/4 of a pump, but as you can see, this foundation is quite runny. It's running off of my hands, so I'm gonna get started. So I usually go straight in with my brush onto my hand, and then I will just kind of start applying it to my skin. So as you can see, especially down my chin area, you can see that the foundation, this shade isn't, you know, a complete match. It is on the lighter side, it's slightly on the lighter side. But anyway, so that's that. Not the best shade match at the moment, but a lovely foundation all the same. And once I've bronzed and everything, very difficult to notice the difference in the shade match. So yeah, and also the MAC powder foundation is a slightly darker shade. So as you can see, once I've kind of blended it out, it's not the worst, you know, match for my skin. But yeah, I mean, I could do with a slightly darker shade, especially when I'm tanned, I think. But you know, it's not horrible, it's not terrible. Thoughts on this foundation now that I've tried it out a good few times. It's a stunning foundation, but I feel like there was a lot of hype behind it, and I feel like I'm not getting the hype. It's a stunning foundation, it does the job, it, you know, evens the skin tone, it does everything it's supposed to do. I mean, if I come close up, you can see it's evened out my skin, and it's done what it's supposed to do. It's not, you know, revolutionary as revolutionary as people were making it out when this foundation came out. I don't want to sound mean in any way, or you know, make it sound like it doesn't work. It's an absolutely stunning foundation. I just don't know if it's as if it should have been as hyped as it was. And maybe at the time it was revolutionary, but I feel like other foundations that you know, I've tried over the years, it does just about the same thing. It's, you know, this foundation hasn't done anything incredible for me outside of, you know, some of my other loved foundations, such as the Makeup Forever HD Skin one, and even some drugstore foundations like you know, some of the Max Factor foundations I absolutely love, which I think is now discontinued, but they used to have their is it Miracle Touch or Miracle Match foundation, which I absolutely love. It's one of my most favorite foundations, and I'm so upset that I can't really find it anywhere apart from Amazon. But even on Amazon, I can't really find my shade match. But that foundation is one of the best shade matches I've ever had. I used to use well, I still have some of the foundation left in my bottle, but I use the shade Caramel, and it literally matches me perfectly. And when you look close up in that foundation, you can see like little shimmer particles, which I think like when you look at the skin once the foundation is on, it doesn't look like there's any glitter on your face or anything, but it just bounces the light in such a beautiful way. I don't know why they discontinued that foundation. I hope they bring it back at some point. I will use up this foundation hopefully, but yeah, I don't think it's mind-blowing, or it's definitely not, you know, I don't see where the hype comes from, basically. Moving on to concealer. This is also, the concealer I ended up getting was also from Shiseido, and I feel like the concealer was the thing that first went more viral, or like from memory I can remember the concealer being such a huge hit, such a huge hype, and then the foundation came after it in my head, in my mind. I'm not sure if that's true or correct, but yes. So I ended up getting the Synchro Skin Shiseido concealer. This is a self-refreshing concealer, and this is the shade 302 Medium. A lot lighter than I expected, but it works fine for what I like it to do. I do like a bit of brightening under my eyes, so you know, it's not terrible, but it definitely wasn't the shade that I was expecting. If I just apply the concealer and you guys can see the shade on me, yeah, it's, you know, quite a bit brighter than I expected. I think I was expecting something a little bit more olive, a little bit of the depth was what I was expecting. So anyway, I mean, it still works. I can still make it work, and that's the main thing. I was not left concealerless or having to run out to buy concealer last minute. So the brush that I showed before, which I absolutely love for concealer, is a very dense kind of packed brush. And what I love about this is I do have other densely packed brushes that I love for concealer, but they're all round. And what I love about this is it's flat, and it's like, you know, the top of it is flat and it's got edges to it, which I feel like can get really nicely into these little spaces, like this little corner and stuff of your eye. So yeah, that's what I really appreciate about this brush. Right, so that's the concealer all nicely blended out. I do have to say I do like this concealer. It blends out really well. There's no sort of dryness or cakiness from the concealer that, you know, you're left with. And yeah, I mean, I usually use the Maybelline eraser concealer. A lot of my actual makeup kit before me buying, you know, this for the wedding pre-shoot and everything is heavily drugstore based. So I actually haven't tried many high-end concealers. When I did buy this kit, I kind of was like, you know what, I'm doing this for my wedding, okay, let me splurge a bit. And so that was also one of the reasons why I ended up going with, you know, this Shiseido brand for foundation and concealer. I did actually buy a L'Oreal Infallible Concealer as well, because I wanted a brightening shade. And I've heard very good things about this concealer, but I haven't actually tried it. But actually the Shiseido one ended up being bright enough. So I actually haven't opened up into that L'Oreal one. I mean, I love the formula. The formula is really nice. I do get the hype behind the concealer. I do tend to actually carry around a concealer brush with me in my, like, if I'm going out somewhere and I'm, you know, I'm carrying a handbag, I usually pack a concealer brush. Well, I pack the concealer brush, but I don't pack a concealer. So the main reason why I pack the concealer brush is just in case there's any creasing or weird like cakiness going on under the eyes, then I've got the brush to just kind of tap it out and tap it into place. Whereas with this concealer, I feel like I haven't really had the need to really do that. It seems to last pretty well under my eyes. And yeah, there's just this creaminess and yeah, just the creaminess to it. Really beautiful. I love it. So I do understand, although I don't understand the hype behind the foundation, I do understand the hype behind the concealer. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. Lasts really well on me. No complaints with the concealer at all. And that brings us to our next product, which is again a cream product. And I know that we can't get Smashbox in the UK anymore, but you can find Smashbox on Amazon still. They've got very few products there, but you can find it, and this was discounted big time. So I did want something to kind of cream bronze, cream contour with, to sort of make my contour bronzer situation sculpting last a little bit longer, which is why I went for a darker shade of the Smashbox concealer. So this is the Studio Skin 24-hour concealer, and yeah, it's in the shade dark warm golden, and yeah, it works really well to bronze and sculpt my face a little bit. I mean, it's not really I don't want to say it contours, because it's not like a grey toned shade. As you can see, there's a little bit of warmth to it, but I do really like this method of using a concealer to you know, bronze slash contour, because I feel like it adds coverage, but also, and you know, especially on the sides of my cheeks, I've got a lot of spot marks there, so it really does kind of add a bit of coverage, but yeah, it I feel like, I don't know, you can just use a bronzing stick, but you can also use a concealer, so why not? So this is the usual places that I will sculpt, and I showed you this brush before as well, my favorite brush for blending out cream contour and that kind of situation. It works really well, like I literally just have to tap it and it does its job. Right, so that's the cream bronzer all blended out as well. I do really try and get into my hairline because we don't want no weird lines to be seen. And yeah, this concealer, again, I wish I could find my actual concealer shade, because blending this out as a bronzer, it literally blends out in seconds, and I just wonder how it would work as a concealer and how it would blend out as a concealer. It literally blends out like a dream, like it literally just melted into my skin and gave me, you know, shading and depth to the skin without being too like stark, which I really like. Can be a bit strong down the side of your nose, but you don't want, especially in photographs, for your nose to be blanked out. Bad idea. Very bad idea. I actually ended up buying two of the two powders, and very, very large powders, which I don't know if it's a good idea, if it was a good idea. But anyway, these two powders were on my radar for a while, so that's why I ended up picking them, and they didn't really break the bank either. So I ended up getting the RCMA makeup powders, and one of them is the translucent powder, and then the other one is the famous one, the original no color powder. The only trouble was I've heard so much about the no color powder, but a lot of people say that there's a lot of flashback with photography. So because I was doing a photo shoot, and yes, it was in the daytime, but just in case on professional camera, you know, it flashbacked, I did get the translucent version as well, and I think it worked pretty well. So the translucent one I kind of ended up using for under my eyes, just to set under my eyes, and I kind of just go in with what's in the lid. So this brush I'm using, I actually do use this as a highlight brush sometimes as well, but I do set with it as well. So just go in under the eyes and press that in, and it does give you a very smoothed out you know, look, and kind of flattened area to the skin. This is just to set my under eye. It's just where, well, not just my under eye, kind of where the concealer went, so that it doesn't you know, change the color of the concealer. The only gripe I have with this thing is the packaging. It is not great packaging. Yeah, the lid is just, it just does get messy everywhere, and you know, you're left with powder on your table and over your clothes. I picked up my large brush, powder brush, and that's because I'm gonna go in finally with the product that I have been teasing you all with. This is the Studio MAC Fix powder foundation in the shade Powder Plus foundation in the shade NC42, and I think it's a really good shade match for me, so I just end up setting the rest of my skin with it. And I feel like, again, it adds coverage to the areas that I like to add coverage to. It sets my cream bronzer, and yeah, it does a good job at mattifying and, you know, allowing the foundation to last longer. And yeah, I do enjoy powder. This is a really good powder. I don't think people have been harping on about this powder for no reason. Makeup artists use this powder as well, and you know, it's in a lot of makeup artists' kit, so it, you know, it can't be there for no reason. The bronzer that I ended up picking up, do I really need to say anything? Everybody knows what this packaging looks like. Everybody, like, as soon as they see this packaging, everybody knows what it is. This is a Physicians Formula butter bronzer. It smells divine, as everybody knows. But yes, I hadn't tried this bronzer, funny enough, until basically this year. 2023 was my year. It started off with me trying so many new products. This is the powder bronzer that I went with, and I do not regret it. The only thing is that I wasn't expecting as much kick up from the powder as you get. So this brush is just an additional brush that I had. It wasn't from this kit, but yeah, it just, there's a lot of kick up, and when you know, dip your brush in, like, you can see the powders kind of dispersing from the thing, and maybe it's to do with the way the formula is. I understand the hype. I understand why it's a cult favorite for a lot of people. It does give a very nice bronzed look, and yeah, it does what it's supposed to do. It does the bronzing. The bronzing situation down, you can see it's just added some lovely glow and more sculpting to the face that, you know, we can all do with. It's just about becoming, you know, warmer in the UK, and yeah, so it's absolutely lovely. I mean, and you can still see it on my tan skin as well, so that's great. I do know that, you know, the shade range with Physicians Formula isn't the best, but if you're similar to my skin tone, then, you know, you can still get a good bronze. When I showed you my kit at the beginning, you guys probably saw the sitting at the top, the Kevyn Acuoin palette. I've heard this palette, not really this palette, but in, you know, specifically the sculpting powders. I've heard about the sculpting powders for donkeys of years, like from the beginning of makeup, YouTube makeup time. Like, everybody has gone on about this this powder. It was actually on offer when I ordered it on Beauty Bay, this whole palette, so I just ended up, you know, ordering it. And the beautiful thing is that it does come with the different tones. So you've got the sculpting light, sculpting medium, and the deep. So when I did use this for myself, obviously I think I used medium, but, you know, when I used this on my best friend who's way lighter than I am, I was able to dip into the light. So a very versatile palette. It's also got two highlighters at the bottom, and then this kind of a ombre blush bronzer situation. So anyway, I'm gonna dip into, I'm using the same brush. I know we just used it for cream, but I am using the same brush on the medium sculpting powder. And another amazing thing, comes with a beautiful mirror. So I don't know why I didn't use this mirror to start off with, actually, because it's really nice and big. But anyway, I do want to tap off some of the excess, and then just kind of add a bit more dimension to where, you know, I like to kind of lift. Right, and that is as simple as it gets. I also did try the blush on this palette when I did my photo shoot makeup. This was also the kit that I ended up using to do my Mendi makeup for my Mendi night. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of memories basically attached to this this little kit. So yeah, like I said, if I end up losing this anywhere or something happens to it, I will be devastated. I am big on keeping memories and whatnot. So anyway, so this is the blush. So obviously I'm not going into the lighter end of the ombre situation. I'm going right in the middle, sort of towards this brown a bit, but not as much because I don't want it to look all bronzed. So I'm really kind of concentrating it on that middle situation. I don't know if I honestly, the only gripe that I do have with this palette is this ombre situation. I wish the whole block was just a blush color, because I'm just thinking, you know, how likely is it that I'm gonna really use this lighter end? I mean, the lighter end does look more glittery, like it's got more of a highlight situation going on, but then you've got two highlights at the bottom here specifically for that as well. It's interesting, definitely. It's one of the first kind of ombre situation products that I've used. I don't feel like this blush shows up particularly well on me. So, you know, I didn't have as much of a blush situation going on with these with the photographs, unfortunately. It did look just more so bronzed, because this isn't, yeah, this blush doesn't show up on me amazingly. I mean, it added a little bit of a flush of a pink. I think I would have preferred if that whole block was just a really good, well pigmented blush, but the rest of the palette, really nice. So I did have to kind of really build up the colour on my cheeks. Highlight, I went in a little bit with this highlight that's here at the bottom. I went with this gold one to keep it nice and neutral, just at the tops of the cheeks here. But there's also another highlight that I did go in with as well. It's a really nice highlight. It does catch the light really well. Right, so that's the highlight, blush, bronzer, sculpting situation done. I'll show you the other highlight that I ended up buying and also using as well. It's the ABH Iced Out Highlighter. I feel like a lot of people talk about this ABH Iced Out Highlighter and they compare it to the ABH, it was a limited edition one by one of the it was a collaboration with another YouTuber. I cannot for the life of me remember the name. Sorry, I feel so bad. But a very well-known YouTube makeup artist, they'd done a collab and that was the highlighter that was released. Her name starts with an A. That's all I pretty much remember. A lot of people say that it's similar to that one, but honestly speaking, I don't think it is. I feel like that highlighter was a lot softer, a lot more, it just melted into the skin more than this one does. And this is a beautiful highlight. I love the tone of this. It's, you know, a lovely gold kind of tone. There is a kind of a champagne gold to it, and it looks absolutely beautiful in the inner corners of your eyes. But yeah, I can't say it's exactly the same as, or the formula is exactly the same as the highlight that was the limited edition. So I did end up kind of adding this to the tips of my cheek as well. Maybe the product is better as you start kind of digging deeper, but I just feel like there's a lot of glitter, way more glitter in this than you know, I'd expected. So that is pretty much the base done. So foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer, highlight. Am I missing anything? Powder, setting powder. So yeah, this is the base. This is what we are looking like. We are looking very nice and glowy. And coming on to eyeshadows. So what I did for my eyes, I kind of used, well, for my wedding pre-shoot, I'd mainly used this palette. So the Huda Beauty Love Fest palette. Absolutely stunning shades. That middle one was the main center attention of what I used. It is the most gorgeous shade ever. Kind of did dark shadows on the inside of my eye and the outer corner, and then really packed this on in the center of the eyelid. And I have never gotten complimented on my eyeshadow look more than I did for my photo shoot. And then for my Mendy look, I ended up getting some of the Natasha Denona mini palettes from Cult Beauty. So this is still in the box because it actually came damaged. Like the shadows were fine inside, but the outer packaging kind of was snapped. So I've just kind of kept it in the box. The main shimmer that I used for my Mendy was this one right on the end here. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I mean, this palette is mainly shimmer. There's only one matte, and it's a matte green, and my outfit was orange, so we didn't go the green route. So this is the palette that I used for the pre-shoot, and then I used mainly the shimmer for my Mendy night, and I used a combination of the neutrals in these palettes. And I think I did go in with some of the mattes in here as well. Yeah, I would have done, because I was wearing an orange lenga, so I think I did go in with some of the kind of orangey tones on this as well, in this palette as well. I didn't have an eyeshadow primer. I usually use the eyeshadow primer potion, which I didn't have on me. This I've just added to the kit after I got home, and I wasn't meant to buy the shade Eden, but I ended up buying the shade Eden, and that's the shade that I've just been using, and it's fine. I mean, it usually gets covered up by eyeshadow anyway. It is quite stark white on me, but I do feel like sometimes maybe it does help the eyeshadow stand out on my eyelids a bit more. But my eyelids are very oily and very creasy, so I definitely needed something to hold my eyeshadows together. And I have heard some amazing things about the Too Faced Melted Chocolate liquid shadow line. It's a liquid shadow, but they're all matte, and the person that I heard like rave on about these was Ali Glines, and I love watching her. She's such a beautiful soul. But you know, she was the one who said and I don't know why I remember this when I was putting my order through, but she was the one who said that this kind of feels like a primer, like an eyeshadow primer. It's got this kind of tackiness to the shadow. So I just risked it. I risked it and bought it, and I tried to buy a shade that was closest to my skin tone to see if, you know, that would make a difference in the way it blends and like the shadow, the way that I blend shadows. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this shade. I enjoy the fact that it's actually closer to my skin tone, and the shadows actually do stick to it really well, and it does actually work like a primer, even though I don't know if it was marketed as a primer. I'm not going to do anything major with my eyeshadow look today. I just feel like this video is going to be way too long if I end up doing that. So I kind of want to get through all the products and everything. So I'm going to pop this on, and I'll do a very basic eyeshadow look. Get this on first. So you know, standard doe foot, and yeah, I mean this product took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it to, you know, be this good, and I would love to get more of these in different shades to, you know, add to my collection, because I just, yeah, I love the way it sits on the eye. I love the way it blends out. I literally just tap it in. Yeah, you can see it's super close to my skin tone. It's slightly pinkier, I would say, but yeah, really beautiful, really pretty. And I am looking at getting my hands on the other shades, because I just feel like even as a one and done, just to kind of even out the eyelid area and just cover it up, it's just really beautiful, really quick, really easy to blend it out. Sometimes I feel like, because the Urban Decay one is a lighter shade, I kind of struggle to really blend out the primer to a like comfortable point where I can then start putting shadows on it. It gives me a little bit of a thing in my heart when I apply it, because it's so light. Whereas with this, I just feel like it's so quick and it's so easy. You literally just blend and it's done. Actually, for my friend's religious like wedding, for her Hindu wedding and reception, I actually used these two palettes in conjunction, I think, because I feel like I like the mini Glam, but there's not enough like transition shades here, and I do know that it's like, I understand that it's a more cool toned palette, but I feel like I have to kind of merge the two. I and I don't know if it's right in terms of color theory or whatever, to mix warm and cool, but I like the way it looked, and I feel like the like transition shades in here are a lot more suited to my skin tone. I'll just do a basic eye look with the Natasha Denona mini bronze and glam palettes, and yeah, take it from there. Which shimmer? I'm gonna go for this one in the mini glam palette, and we're just gonna focus that on the center part and the inner third part of the eye. It's a little bit it's a very soft shadow. Like when I press my brush into it, you can see the dent that the brush makes. So yeah, just be careful with these shadows. It's a really nice shimmer. So that's as simple as I'm going to keep the eyeshadow look. Sometimes I do like to just add a teeny bit of shimmer down here as well, just to brighten up the inner kind of third. But yes, I do enjoy the formula of the Natasha Denona minis. Got three minis here, and they're amazing in terms of being able to travel with them, but just, you know, providing you absolutely just stunning eye looks as well. And yes, I mean, these two palettes are very basic, and I mean, obviously I've got the mini Pastelle as well, which provides a bit more kind of fun colors to play around with. These two, it's just basic, kind of the basic needs to be able to travel with. I think really travel friendly palettes to have, so they have become a bit of a staple in my kit, really. I did, for my pre-shoot, go in with lashes. Now, I'm not a big lashes person, I'm not a big lashes girl, but I did end up picking these individuals as well, because I feel like I'm more of an individuals person. I don't like the look of massive lashes. I did have them for my wedding, but the style that my makeup artist used for my wedding, Elegance by B, she's absolutely wonderful and did an amazing job at doing my makeup. But one of the first things that I did kind of mention to her was, number one, colour matching, number two,
I'm not a big huge fan of eyelashes, and so the style that she tried on me was very much suited to my eyes. It didn't, you know, close my eyes in any way, and it added more than took away. So for my photo shoot though, for my wedding pre-shoot, I ended up using these individuals because the other Eyelure ones that I got were a bit too natural, like you wouldn't have been able to really see them at all. So you can see where the empty spaces are here. I think I ended up using this on the outskirts of my eyelashes, and then I went in with the top layer for like the middle. Kept it very basic, very simple, but it did elevate the look. It really did elevate the look. I'm not going to add lashes now because it's, yeah, it's just a faff and I'm going to be taking off this makeup in a bit. So I'm not going to add the lashes now, but I do really love these individual lashes. They are the Hoodie Flares number 25. So if you are looking for some individuals, these are brilliant. Really, really nice. And the lash glue. I'm telling you, this is the lash glue. Because I was ordering the Huda Beauty falsies, I just thought, you know what, why not keep it all under one brand? And I ended up ordering the Huda Beauty the waterproof lash glue. And because I've obviously already, you know, got duo glue in my stock, I was like, I don't want to really order another duo glue. So anyway, I went with this one, and yes, it's very strong. It literally dries down in, you know, like quick time. And I love the fact that it's a black glue. It really kind of helps to melt your falsies into your eye look. And so yeah, that was the lash glue we went with. What else? Mascara and eyeliner. I don't know whether I should do eyeliner today, but I definitely will show you the mascara. So I got this mini size set. I think this might be full size, but the mascara was a mini size, and I love this mascara. It does literal wonders to my lashes. So this is the One Size Beauty Point Made Bodacious Black 24-hour liquid eyeliner pen. And this is the One Size Fantasize mascara, and it's in the travel size. I actually do prefer getting mascaras in travel size, you know, because when we get a full size, you're supposed to, like, some of the mascaras last maximum of 6 months, but you don't end up actually using the entire thing in 6 months, and it will dry out. And because of, you know, eye safety and keeping your eyes healthy, you end up having to throw away the mascara bottle even if it's half used, and I just find it so wasteful. So I do prefer mini size mascaras, and again, it's just super travel friendly. And because I'm always on the go, like literally I'm carrying this makeup kit from East Sussex to London to East Sussex, I like the fact that this was a mini size. So I got the set. It came in a set, the eyeliner and this mascara, and when I tried this mascara, let me tell you. So if I show you my lashes, I mean, I have decent length lashes. They aren't the most horrendous. Oh my days, look at my mouth. That is atrocious. How are you talking like this all this time? It's because I've got foundation and powder and everything on it. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so if I show you my lashes now without grossing you out with my mouth, I mean, they're decent lashes. I don't really use a lash curler. I feel like my lashes have actually reduced in length over time. They used to be a lot longer, a lot fuller. I don't wear makeup every day. I'm not using mascara every day. I'm not using falsies every day for, you know, me to kind of pull them out. But I think maybe it's just with age, but also maybe I'm lacking some kind of nutrients. If I show you, this is my natural lashes. I'm going to apply the mascara. I do like to take the excess off because it kind of really loads up the wand, and I love that it's like a mini baby size, like length. The first time I tried it, I got a bit freaked out, and I had to kind of use my brow spoolie to kind of, you know, sort out my lashes. But like, look at that. And look how much product just came off of the wand. Right, so if I show you what this mascara does, you will want to go running to get it because it's just absolutely beautiful. I feel like I still like to go in with a brow spoolie to just help comb out and separate them, but like when I applied this mascara I was like, do I really need to apply falsies? Because I don't think I have to. Look at the difference, guys, like literally it's absolutely crazy. Like, look at this difference. As it dries it just kind of thickens up, and that's when I like to use my brow spoolie to just separate them, get rid of any of the clumping. Like literally, look how, I don't know what is in this formula, but it's been a long time since I've tried a mascara that's been this amazing. Like, even my husband looks at my lashes and he's like, whoa, what did you put on your eyelashes? It looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, this is the power of makeup, guys. This is why I love makeup. Like, it literally transforms you, the way you feel, in a matter of seconds, and there's just no other feeling like it. Anyway, I'm gonna do my other eyelash now. I'm so glad I tried this One Size brand as well, because I've heard a lot about the One Size brand, and when we could finally get it on, you know, in the UK, it's just been a while since I've been able to really explore new brands and new makeup and whatnot. So I was really excited to try this. I also really want to try, I've heard some really good things about the One Size setting spray, so I'm really excited to try that. But the only trouble was I don't think there was a travel size available when I looked for the setting spray, and the like, from memory of seeing the you know, the bottle on people's, you know, videos and on Instagram and stuff, I just remembered it being like a big huge bottle, so I wouldn't be able to really like carry it around with me. So that's why I didn't end up getting the setting spray, but I do want to try it out. And there we go, there is my lashes. I am absolutely just stunned by how this mascara performs. It's one of the best mascaras I've tried in a very long time. And yeah, absolutely love it. I mean, this is my eyelashes without curling it, without falsies. Like, just don't understand what sorcery is in this mascara, to be honest. I am going to do my brows and show you what brow products I ended up buying and have been using. And yeah, this is a dual-sided brush, so it's got the kind of pointed brow styler brow brush on one side as well. So what I like to do is just brush through any of the foundation, concealer, whatever, through my brows, and just kind of get them set up and ready for putting product into them. The brow product I have been messing around with is very simple, very basic. It's just brow powder. I'm not a big person. I don't, you know, use brow pens. I do use a brow pencil sometimes, but my most preferred way of doing my brows, and especially for photography, is using a brow powder. So I actually did get this, came in like a set, but I haven't actually tried or used any of the other products in the set. I've just kind of stuck to the brow powder and I've been quite happy. And then a brow gel, which I'll show you in a second. It's not from the Morphe line. Yeah, just a basic brow powder. This is in the shade Java, and it literally does the job. Fills in my brows, fills in the gaps. You know, you literally just go in with your brush and fill away and you'll be done. It's such a quick and easy way of doing your brows as well. I feel like it takes no time at all. And yeah, I just think it's such a simple, easy method of doing your brows and kind of getting them to look. The main thing that I really like is to do with my brows, to be honest. I don't really like to change the shape. I like to keep the shape because I feel like when I overdo my brows, it literally just changes, and it, you know, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to change the whole frame of your face. But I am not comfortable with that. I prefer to keep my face shape as is, so I look as much as like myself as possible. I really like the shape of this brush as well. It's a very thin styler. It's a very thin pointed, you know, brush. And I feel like it really just does a good job at really depositing the product where it needs to go. I actually didn't even do my eyebrows for my wedding. I just cleaned it up myself. I didn't go anywhere to kind of get the brow shaped or anything because I am too protective over my brows. I do not, I mean, just in case, and especially like for your wedding, you don't want to do last minute risks. Well, I did do a few last minute risks in terms of like the makeup products and stuff that I bought, and you know, these are the products that I ended up using for my Mendy as well. But I just, you know, you don't want to risk something too permanent like changing your face shape with your brows, because you can't reverse that. This you can reverse. This you can wash it off and go find other products. That you cannot do anything about it. So yeah, I'm very protective over my brows, and I don't really like anybody touching them. And I'd rather stick with the same brow shape and just apply makeup to it and just fill it in. Now coming on to brow gel. How excited am I to show you this? I saw a lot of people using the got to be like the actual hair gel for like laying down your edges, or actually, you know, flyaways and things, using the gel on eyebrows, and I came across this on Amazon. So it does say glue for brows and edges, so I think you can use this in your hair as well, and because the wand is smaller, it probably works a bit better. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's a clear gel, not tinted or anything, and again, I'm just going in and removing as much of the product as possible, because this is like, it is like super glue, but it literally you know, deposits so much product on your in your brows if you don't do this, and then you have a hard time getting it to dry, getting it to, you know, and you don't want it to move the powder that you've put in as well. So I just gently with the wand go in, and I kind of go in an upwards motion first, and then kind of lay it flat, and literally my brows will last this way all day. That is the brows sorted, and yeah, I absolutely love this. What's next is lips. Right, so oh, actually I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my highlight in the inner corners as well, to just add a bit of attention to the inner corner, add a bit more love there. So I've got a very pinpointed brush here, The shade is very similar to the shimmer shade I've got on, so I don't think it's really showing much of a difference, but when you really blend it in, it just gives that little pop, and I really like it. And then I just add tiniest amount under here as well. I love the iced out highlight for my inner corners. It just adds the beautiful, most beautiful pop ever. Right, so lips. What have I been playing with? For my actual photo shoot, luckily I had my beloved, most trusted, long-lasting Pixie liquid lipstick on me. I don't know where it's gone. It's not in this kit at the moment, so I think I must have taken it out for something. I also ordered, because I had my eye on this for a while, the Cocoa Bold, Too Faced Cocoa Bold lipstick in the shade chocolate chip. And then I ordered the Too Faced lip injection maximum plump extra strength, and this is in the shade, this is also, I think this is also from the chocolate line, chocolate plump. So these were the two kind of new lip products that I ordered for the photo shoot. Yeah, so I just realized that some of my makeup has been leaking, and I'll show you which product it is. And basically I think it would be fine otherwise, but like it was fine before I took it on a flight, and I think it must be the air pressure or something, or the cabin pressure, I don't know what it was, but since coming back from my holiday and everything, it's literally just been leaking and just getting over everything, and it's, yeah, it's really annoying. Anyway, so yes, the lip products that I ended up using for my photo shoot was the Pixie Matte Last Liquid Lip, one of my most favorite lip products. This is so good at lasting on your lips, wearing away evenly, just a product that I don't have to worry about when I've got it on. If you have a look in my previous YouTube videos, there is a whole YouTube video about these products, so you'll be able to see the shades clearly on there. But so this was what I used for the first look, and then I think I put this on, and then I think I had I put this on over it as a gloss, and that looked really lovely. For the second outfit changed, I used the Cocoa Bold, because these aren't new products to me and I've already, you know, reviewed them and shown you on my YouTube. I'm going to put them to the side and I'll show you the Cocoa Bold lipstick. Really interesting shape. I can't remember, did I create this shape or whether it actually just came like this, like slightly bent in the middle? Can't remember. Really lovely shade. I love this lipstick shade. It's one of the nicest browns I have. I love shades like this. I'm gonna try not to talk whilst I'm doing this. Yeah, let me talk now. So this is, you know, just a normal bullet cream lipstick. It's not going to be long lasting. It's not going to, you know, sit on your lips whilst you're eating, drinking, etc, etc, but it's the most creamiest, beautiful shade. I love this kind of shade on me. It's just slightly darker than my skin tone, and it kind of it makes me look put together, but not just, you know, out there or anything, which, you know, I love my out there lipsticks. I love my bright pinks, I love my bright reds, but when it comes to browns and nudes, I love this kind of a shade. It just does something to my face for me. I think it just goes with my skin tone really well, and this is what this shade looks like. It's the Too Faced Cocoa Bold shade Chocolate Chip cream lipstick. Oh, and the other great thing,
It's got a magnet closure. Really cool. Really cool to play with. This is my first Too Faced lipstick that I've got, and actually it's the first time I tried the Too Faced lip injection as well. That's it, I remember. So the Iced Out Highlighter, the ABH Iced Out Highlighter, is said to be not a dupe, but as close to the Amrezy highlighter, and I did have the Amrezy highlighter. I gave it to my sister. I loved the Amrezy highlighter, and I still remember the way it just melts into your skin. Like, I used to use that highlight just on my bare skin, and the color of it, the you know, the formula, it literally used to just melt and sink into my skin and make my skin just look like it was glowing from inside. And I, you know, even though I gave it to my sister a while back, I do remember how, you know, the way it made my skin look. And do I feel like the Iced Out highlighter is close to that? No. But is it a good highlight? Yes. Like, it's once it settles down into the skin, you're fine. But is it, you know, will it overtake that Amrezy highlighter? No. Let me move on to the setting spray I got. So I actually forgot to order a setting spray as well. Well, I wanted to order the one size one, but I knew it would be big, and then I kind of just forgot totally to pick one up. And luckily, the day before the photo shoot, we'd gone into Sainsbury's, and so I just literally was like, oh my god, I don't have a setting spray, I need to get one. And just ran across to the makeup aisles they had and just pretty much looked for what I could find there. Please stop leaking. Where are you leaking from? Just don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to leave this to like literally just stand on my table. I can't really lay it down flat anywhere because it's just gonna start leaking. Anyway, so the setting spray that I ended up picking up from Sainsbury's, trust the old Sainsbury's, they do carry Maybelline, L'Oreal and everything, so brilliant that, you know, Sainsbury's has a makeup aisle, because in last minute runs like this, when I needed to get a last minute product, it was a literal lifesaver. Ah, yes, I think it cracked, that's why it's been leaking. I found it. I found the crack. I think this is not flight worthy, basically, because after I took this on the flight, it must have cracked. They must have thrown it everywhere, thrown my stuff around everywhere. Nothing else cracked, or nothing else happened to anything else, any of the other products, apart from this one. It has cracked, so don't yeah, don't fly with it. Anyway, this is the Maybelline Lasting Fix makeup setting spray, and I think it works really well, does what it needs to do, melts all the products in, and helps it to last. Forgot to show you the Too Faced lip injection, and this is the Maximum Plump in Chocolate Plump. So I did go over my Pixie shade. I think it must have been in Evening Rose. I did go over it with a gloss because I didn't want a completely matte lip. And yeah, it looked really nice, really beautiful. The first time I used it, that was the first time I used it. I used it on top of the Pixie one. The first time I used it, I didn't really notice like a, you know, difference in like the plumpiness of it, or, you know, anything. But the second time, third time that I used this just on its own, yeah, but it's not as crazy as people make it out to be. Like, it didn't hurt my lips, because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it hurts my lips, like, oh my god, I can't take it, like, and they will remove it off, and even after they've removed it off, they'll be like, oh my god, it's horrible. Could be because I eat spices, I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't feel like the plumping situation on this, well, this the tingling sensation, the stinging sensation that it gives is unbearable. So I mean, everybody has their own pain threshold as well. So anyway, I don't want to apply this directly from the bullet because I've got a brown lipstick on, and I don't really like mixing my, like, getting lipstick on my doe foot applicator. So I'm just gonna kind of pop the gloss on the back of my hand.
It is a beautiful shade. It has beautiful shine. It does smooth out the lips. It, you know, gives a stunning reflection. But like I said, I don't find that it's like unbearable or, you know, horrible to have on your lips. I've used it a good couple times now, so that's what it looks like. I'm just gonna clean this brush off. Right, so this is pretty much the finished look we've got going on with all these brand new products that I've bought and tried over the last 3 months. And yeah, I do not regret buying any one of these products. Like I said, all of these products worked so well. I'm so grateful for people's recommendations, people on YouTube mainly that I've been watching over donkeys of years, big makeup artists that I follow on Instagram and who share their 2 cents about products. And you know, these are products that I kind of see repeated time and time again in people's recommendations, and for good reason, I guess. Like, you know, there was not one product that was a complete disappointment. Yes, do I think the, you know, Shiseido Synchro Skin Foundation, Radiant Foundation, you know, should it have been as hyped as it was hyped? Maybe not. Does the ABH, you know, highlight, does that deserve as much hype? Does it deserve the status of, you know, being so similar to the Amrezy ABH highlight? I don't know, but is it a good highlight regardless? Yes. Like I said, it, you know, it tends to sit on top of the skin initially, but it does melt in, and when you use a setting spray and a sponge, it does settle in, it does sink in. But you know, I mean, powder highlights are kind of known. Some powder highlights are known to you know, not sink into the skin straight away. So you know, I can't say that any of the products that I bought were a complete disappointment. The makeup look didn't turn out atrocious for my photo shoot, so that was the main thing. These products have been going through it. They have been going through my close, you know, criticism, and they've been going through very close dissection over the last 3 months, because they're not cheap, they were expensive. Some of them were on offer when I bought them, which saved me a few pennies, luckily. These high-end products do work, and I'm very glad they're in my collection now. So this is the final makeup look, like I said, with the products that I bought, rushed and risked for my photo shoot, for my wedding pre-shoot. It was all worth it. It was all worth it. I've been literally, this kit has traveled with me everywhere. This is how we are looking, and I am so glad to be finally able to have some breathing space. Well, I say breathing space, but there's still a lot going on. But at least to be, you know, I've got a little moment in my time now where I can literally force myself and say, no, you're gonna sit down, and do this YouTube video right now. And you know, like this video idea has been in my head for the last literally like 2 months, well, 3 months since I like did my photo shoot and everything. I was like, wow, all these makeup products are actually really good. Like I need to do a video, and I need to do a review video on all of this. But literally haven't had the time, haven't even had a moment to just breathe and sit myself on the chair to get it done. Well, it's the bank holiday weekend, in all honesty, so it's probably why I found a moment for myself. But I'm hoping that I can find more and more moments like this in my life so that I can sit down and film and explore with more makeup, play with more makeup, experiment with more looks. give you my reviews, entertain you on my channel as much as I can, and hopefully I haven't bored the wits out of you today. But yes, thank you so much for sticking through this video. I will have to obviously edit this, and I don't know how long the editing, you know, once I've edited it, how long it's going to be. But I think I've been filming for like the last 3 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna get going. I'm going to hopefully wash all of this off in a bit. I do need to have some dinner actually, so I'm gonna probably have some dinner, wash all of this off. I've got some other things to do with my room, and yeah, then hopefully get to sleep. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for sticking through this video. Thank you so much for showing your support time and time again, and hopefully you can like this video, subscribe to my channel please, and also ring the bell notification, because I'm a new channel, new in the sense that I haven't, you know, got many videos on my channel, but I would love as much support as I can to get my videos out there and seen out there. So I will love you and leave you, and always let the light in. Always let the light in.